So I realized that this is kind of late, but this is sort of my intro. Um, this video jumps around a lot. It's a little bit confusing. I just wanted to give a little context. So I broke my car, I think end of October, and then immediately decided I want to engine swap it. And then about middle of November, I found the engine, and you'll see that. And then I didn't have the money for parts because I spent it all on the engine. I didn't have the time to come out and work on it because I was working. So I pretty much didn't work on my car for almost 3 months. I did a little bit of stuff. I pulled the old engine out, which you'll see, and then I got the new one here, and basically it's just been sitting here. But since then, I have earned the money to start doing some things to it, and I don't know how much of that you'll see in this video, but hopefully this will come out in the next couple days, and then you'll almost be up to date. I just wanted to give you some context for what's going on. I'm hoping that in the next month or so I'll have this all finished up, ready to go rip around, but we'll see. Who knows how long it'll take. We'll just have to see how it goes, and then we'll figure it out on the way. This is it. It's the car. What is that? Right now it's almost ready to have the engine dropped out of it. There's coolant all over my pan over here. Got the wheels off, up on jack stands. Got my pile of things I've taken off of it. But yeah, intake is off. Pretty much all fuel lines, coolant lines, electrical, and everything's in pretty good condition. Like, battery tray obviously isn't looking the greatest, but when are those ever looking good? Same with intake. It's a little rusty. Curious how much of that rust makes it into my engine. But other than that, it's all pretty clean. There was an oil leak and a couple little issues with it, but let me see the interior. We got the center console taken out. We got the ECU sitting in my driver's seat. Yeah. So hopefully today we'll get this all dropped out. I think I got a couple more things to disconnect. And then other than that, we're about ready. What up? So there's a bit of a gap in the timeline from what you guys saw last. Engine was still in the car. Yeah, so let's go check out what's new. Got this beauty. Yeah. Look at how nice this thing is. Yeah. Oh, I'm so stoked to have this. Yeah, so this is what I picked up yesterday. It's pretty nice. I don't know, there's this hunk of junk, but look at how good this is. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. We actually picked up an engine yesterday. It's a brand new 3800 supercharged. 0 miles. I'm super stoked about it because it's nice. Like, this thing is gonna make the car so much more fun. And we also have the engine sitting on the ground under the car. Because for Fieros, you can't just pull the engine at the top. You gotta go in and drop the whole cradle and the transmission, drivetrain, everything comes out and it drops to the bottom, which is why it takes so long to pull this engine and why this swap isn't the easiest to do. But I'm super stoked about it because it's gonna be so sweet. It's gonna drive so good. Yeah, I gotta get this engine in there. I gotta clear out some space. I gotta get that engine slid out from under the car. And then from there, we can start doing some work on it. Alright, well, I was gonna go out and work on my car because it's out in the shed. But I look out the window and I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of snowing. And that's where I'm working, that little shed. And it's not insulated. And it's really cold, and even with heaters on, I got 2 of them out there, even with those on, it's freezing. It doesn't warm up. I guess that's the reality of working out in the shed. But I also don't have a whole lot to do out there, other than show you guys what's going on. So that's a bummer. What up? Back working on the car. I've got a few more parts to put on. Got tensioner pulley, which will allow me to finish putting on the dog bone bracket on my new engine. I've got a lot done since the last time I filmed anything. But before I get to anything else, I think I need to clean up a little bit because it's getting a bit cluttered. There's just stuff everywhere. So I'm gonna get to that first. Hopefully find some things I'm gonna need soon. Got all these bags of bolts. And I need a couple of those bolts coming up here pretty quick. So hopefully I can find those. Alright. I've got a little bit of the cleaning done. We got this area all cleaned up. I put all that garbage on that shelf. This is all my parts and my helmet, but not relevant. These are parts. This is my new flywheel and clutch. This is a tensioner pulley, fuel pump, strainer for the fuel pump. I've got like my Fiero handbook. And then these are just some extra bolts. You know, I'm pretty sure I know what all of these go to. Hopefully. This is for organization. Put bolts in the baggies. I'll figure what those are and put them in. Those are my personal things. Welding stuff. We got welder, grinder. I've got cut off wheels, grinding wheels. I've got some like exhaust piping stuff to weld with. But now, problem is this area. I need to clean this up a little bit. I need to figure out a place to put all like the parts that I am gonna use later, like my shocks, my pressure plate for my clutch. I've just got like tools, parts. I've got like my old bushings sitting there. I'm trying to get the old bushings out of the front side of the cradle with a clamp. I'm just gonna buy a blowtorch and melt them out because that's what I've seen works. And I've got this beast sitting right here in the middle of it because it's the only place I have space. But hopefully if I clear up some of this space, I can scoot that back a little bit I should have like room to walk around everything. That'll make everything so much easier to work on, because I kind of hate coming to work on my car when it's just a mess in here and I can't find tools or parts or where I put those bolts or anything. So once I get that all cleaned up, I've got a couple of things that I can do. With the parts I have, I've got some parts coming tomorrow. Yeah, let's just get to the cleaning again. Okay. I've done some more cleaning. I got all my baggies in the box. So that's dope. We've got this area pretty much all cleaned up. I can scoot this cherry picker back a little bit. I'm gonna try and get the exhaust off of this today, because it's gonna have to come off, and I'd rather do it while there's not a 500-pound engine on it. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do that. I'm gonna get a blowtorch for those bushings. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get that. I have one, well, I have two. I have this little guy that I remember taking off, but I don't remember what I took him off of. I'm hoping it's not important. And then there's one more that I put in a baggie and labeled it unknown, because it should be somewhere in there. Because I checked what I thought it would be and it wasn't there. Or there was already a bolt there. So it's definitely not that. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get that exhaust off. I'm gonna try and put the tensioner pulley on the dog bone bracket, and then once I have that on, I can tighten all the things with the dog bone bracket down, so it's good, it's ready to go after that. Got the pulley, tensioner pulley on, snugged up. It mounts to the dog bone bracket. One thing I am a little bit worried about is these coolant passages, because in order to install the dog bone bracket and the pulley, I had to take off this guy over here, that thing, which was two coolant passages. The one right there from the water pump, and then this one from the lower intake manifold. So I'm not quite sure what I need to do to get those. They don't connect, but they both outlet right here on this side of the engine. So I'm gonna need to have to run those again. Oh, look, my socket. But either way, I would need to run both of those. But now it's just less convenient because it's in a spot that, first of all, I need a male adapter for it. And second of all, it needs to be back in behind all the belts and pulleys and stuff, whereas the other one routed it outside of all of that. So I don't have to deal with it before. But anyways, now onto getting the exhaust off. I can probably get it off without cutting it, which I think is what I'm going to need to do, because I don't have an extension cord out here, and the only thing, and the only power, is right there. And my cord won't reach that far, so we're going to try and pull it off without cutting anything. Okay, the exhaust is off. That was way too much work to get that stupid thing out from under this. But it's finally out, so that's nice. I don't think I'll be reusing any of the exhaust. First of all, it's, I think, 2 1/4 inch. It's small. I can reach my hand around it. This muffler is like soggy, and I can like push it in with my hands. So that's definitely done for. A lot of the piping has like this kind of problem where it like kinks almost, like it's been bent too far. And then even like the tips are all bent in on the ends of them. And then I'm not running cats because I don't need e-checks, so why would I? But yeah, I think I'm probably going to take off that other shock, because while right now it's not going to be in the way, it will be once I get the engine back on and I'm like working with things. And then like putting it back into the car is going to be so much easier without that shock on. So I might do that, I'm not sure. I'm going to take off all these hanger springs. Like look, there's 6 of them. Well, there was 6, now there's only 5, but here's the other one. Holding this stupid muffler on. 6 hangers. And then the rest of the exhaust has probably a total of 2. I think it's that one sitting there, and then that one. Those are the only other 2. And luckily, since it is mid-engine, the exhaust is super short. It's gonna come straight out of here, and then basically, which this is gonna be pointing like that, like right towards those weird curvy vent pipes. And so it's basically gonna go down and straight back out. I'm gonna put glass packs on it. I'm welding my own exhaust, which we'll see how that goes, because I've never really welded all that much before, just a little bit of practice. But I also, another thing that I will get to eventually is decluttering this engine bay, because there's a lot of things in here that I won't need. I don't have those 2 lines with the like canister thing on them. Those are my AC lines. I won't have an AC compressor on here. The alternator bracket, which is right here, is taking the place of where the AC would be. I don't need cruise control. I didn't even know I had cruise control beforehand. I'm pretty sure this is like some sort of emissions control. I'm not gonna need that. I wouldn't know where to start with hooking that up. And then we've got shifter cables, we've got fuel lines, those 2 poking out, that's coolant. We've got coolant going into the heater core over there. We've got a couple of vacuum lines. Those ones go to this. But we've got a couple more like that, I think is a vacuum line. There's a few more things, but a lot of this I want to take out. We got our good old bean can down there. I don't know what that is. I don't know what these are. I'm guessing they're vents, but I'm not sure where they head, like where they go to, or what their purpose is. So I'm just getting rid of that. I'm getting rid of the battery tray, or what used to be a battery tray. I'm going to be remaking that. I'll definitely be getting rid of this old rusty intake, because the cool thing is on these cars, the intake comes out right here. This is a real vent, and then the intake comes up and out right here, and then up into the engine, and like it would be like right here where the intake is, like the throttle body. Let's see, next video probably, I think I'm gonna end up decluttering this engine bay. I'm gonna try and I should have my new alternator. I'll put the alternator on. I should have the torch to get these bushings out. That'll be exciting, because, oh wow. Because those are really stuck. Those are on there, like permanently. But for the rest of tonight, I think that's it. But I will definitely see you guys in the next video. If you want to keep following the build, just subscribe, you know the deal. If you don't, honestly. but you definitely do, because it's pretty dope. There's not very many good, like, Fiero build videos or channels or anything on YouTube, so I'm hoping to take that spot. Because they're really cool cars and they're really fun when they work. But they are really fun cars. I loved this thing before I blew it up. But that was just an opportunity for me to get this fancy new engine, forced induction, and really put myself to the test on putting it in this tiny little car. This big old engine going on that teensy weensy little transmission in this teeny weeny little car. Anyways, bye bye.